Okay, Christina Merkley here. We have another recorded free session helping with the shakedown with 2020 and all the gifts it's bringing us. And I have Silvia with me, so welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so I know a little bit. We met via some online constellation stuff, which is a methodology that we're both into. We may or may not use that one with you, but there was a connection with us, a resonance, and now you found your way here into this container. Perfect. So tell me a little bit about what's up, and then I can offer options in terms of ways to tackle it process-wise, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Since we've made this appointment, things have already moved and changed, but my main issue still is, shall I keep Oxisk going? This is my little community organization. I started that in the beginning of 2017, and it hasn't grown much at all. The idea had been to bring constellators together in Oxford, which is where I live. Very personal reasons, I just didn't enjoy going to London or other places to do constellations, and I wanted to have a community locally, as well as invite international constellators to Oxford. And I've had a lot of yeses, but nothing much has materialized. 2 events were planned and about to happen when other things happened, and they didn't happen. I've also got my own personal webpage, which I'm neglecting completely at the moment. I seem to be doing everything under Oxisk, and it looks like that Oxisk is being found on the internet easier than my name when people look up constellations. Probably done a few things better and more right, as in, the technicalities of it.
Search engine optimization or something along those lines.
And it still feels like a baby to me. So I don't know how much energy is in it. My one-to-one work seems to be starting off better than anything else at the moment. So that's a surprise that I didn't expect that. But all in all, I'm not really making a living and want to do that. Within the next, let's say 5 years, I want to be at a point sometime that I can contribute to the bills properly, or even, lead my own life, if you like, if I have to, and not be dependent on anyone.
Was there a career transition for you? So were you doing something previous to when you entered into Constellation and had been building your professional work around that?
Can you ask again, please?
I'm just curious on the career track. So I understand how you've been building the identity around the constellation work, and I'm curious on how new is that identity and work for you, and if it is new, what was happening previously? Like, what shift did you make?
So my heart and soul is in constellations. For me, the systemic approach has become a philosophy and a way of life. There was a shift when my own peer group in the Oxfordshire region dissolved because of people having other ventures going on. It was just too much. And I very firmly believe in peer group meetings and having a peer group to grow within and go to your edges and share. And I am part of a peer group now online, but when that broke away, the physical meetings, I felt I needed something to bring people together. So I felt a big void there. I also seem to not have been able to connect with other sort of trainers or constellators in the Oxford region, apart from one, really. And he's my friend and sort of helps me a little bit with Oxisk. But other than that, I don't seem to find people, although I know there must be people because there's other constellations going on. And
How long have you been doing it?
Oxys since 2017, but constellations I've been offering since 2006.
Okay. Okay. So your private practice, 15 years or so. So this isn't, so my wondering about, is this new? It's not. You've been doing it for 15 years. Yeah.
Yes, but I must admit, and I'm quite honest about that I didn't have that many clients. I didn't have a running practice. Constellations was a no word. What's that? It was like that in Oxfordshire.
Sure.
Even in England. And now it's booming. I mean, now there's so much more happening.
Yep.
Which is great, and I'm really happy about that. But what I don't like is that people feel threatened. I don't want anyone to feel threatened by my presence here, because I love sharing other people's work. I love going to other people's work. I love inviting other people to my work. So I somehow don't seem to manage to spread the word in a way that lures people into one place. Maybe it's not me. I don't know. Maybe there's something in me that's not really a venturer like that. I am a venturer, but maybe not in that way.
Okay. And so if you haven't been able to financially sustain yourself in a full-time way, and that's not unusual with constellation as like one mode, right? Or goes for any modality. How do you survive in life?
My husband supports me.
Yeah. Okay.
I gave up full-time work 5-6 years ago, and then slowly cut off more and more, and then went completely off any other work and concentrated fully on building my practice in 2015, I think. Ooh,
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And what were you doing with your full-time work?
I was a secretary. I was in admin.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That gives me context. That makes sense. Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? It's nice when you've got a partner that can hold that space while you're growing your business. It's also different than if you didn't, right? The necessity factors are different, right? The need to make something work or to piece various things together to make it work, right? So that privilege is it's interesting from an energetic point of view, because the have to isn't there, right? The want to is, right? I hear that and I hear that a lot with partners who other partner is fulfilling the chief breadwinner role, right? And wanting to contribute to the household, but not having to, so anyway, so that's part of the dynamic too, right? Is that, isn't that nice that you're in a position where you don't have to, although of course it causes some dynamics when you want to. And so, okay. Tell me a bit about, have you explored this with Constellation already? And if so, what are the themes or what are you discovering?
So first of all, one of the issues I've got is my pricing. I don't really know how to price myself. I've sort of found, looked what others charged and thought, around that is fine. There's also the question of how do I price issue holder spaces and how do I price just participant spaces. So I've sort of leveled it to just one price at the moment, because really I think everyone benefits greatly from this work. I keep it low, so I know my system is sort of hanging about in the space of people who can't afford therapy, which was my experience during my time of self-development. I always had either people who helped me or gave me things for free, and in fact, this session speaks for itself. So. I'm sort of hanging about in this area of have no money, have not enough money, can't afford therapy. And even though I like being there and enjoy offering this to people who have not enough money to spend a lot of money on therapy, I believe so wholeheartedly in it that, and I also want to, and I know I can also be of support to people who have the money. So
Yeah.
find it quite difficult to navigate myself in this world of marketing and, you know.
Well, there's some money psychology stuff there, right? There's different ways to call that. I mean, it could be like scarcity mentality, or I don't like putting labels on stuff, but just in the ballpark of it. So
Yeah.
there's a consciousness around money, right? And so there's a comfort level that you have in your own experience, and it's challenging to move beyond that. And so hence why you're kind of swimming around in the stuff you're swimming around and haven't broken through it, because you haven't done that personally too, right? So like being someone who couldn't or didn't, right? Then you don't have that psychology in order to be like attracts like, right? So
Yes.
yeah. And no judgment on any of it. None of it's wrong. It's just like, okay, well then that's what results in what's happening. So yeah.
It's not bred into me for sure. My father went self-employed at the age of 40 and lost his business at the age of around 50. I can't remember. So he went bust, and that was a horrible experience. But I did work on that. You know, I sort of allow myself to be bigger, have more money, have abundance. You know,
but that's a trauma. That's a huge trauma. How old were you when that?
I was a grown up.
Okay, you were grown. So you were like 20s though?
Now I have to think.
Yeah. So if
that was 30 years ago. Yeah, in my 20s.
Yeah.
In my
So that's
late
actually,
20s.
you know, when you're, in late 20s, you're not fully good. Now, if it was earlier, obviously it's very impactful to the psyche. But the other thing is, what we're exposed to. So he went into entrepreneurial stuff at 40. So was the whole entrepreneurial do your own thing, was that an oddity in his world and your world? And if so, what did most people do?
It's very difficult to say. It's a completely different field. It was technical stuff. Whether it was an oddity, I don't know, to be honest. Probably not.
Did you grow up and see different models? Like for example, the reason I'm asking is my dad was in the military, and then same age that you're talking. Well, actually, a teenager, he went out into entrepreneurial, and he actually did well. So I know that informs some of my role modeling and stuff. My mom was in the government. I'm in a town that is very much a government town. So a lot of people have that mentality, get the government job, get the benefits, do that for life, retire, right? So I'm kind of curious about what the modeling is.
The modeling was that I found him very brave, and he was very successful. He really worked himself up to being able to afford just under £1 million house, which was amazing and unbelievable. All this happened sort of alongside me having my own life and my own stuff. I didn't live there, although for a little bit I did. But and I even worked for him, so I learned a little bit of how the invoicing, and the paperwork, all of that. Yeah,
that's handy for running your own business.
Yeah,
I used to run do the business stuff for a politician, right? So anyway, I'm always grateful that I did that. Like admin assistant, I did that in the government, and that was a really good base for later on for going out on my own. And and now it's like bookkeeper and accountant and stuff, but I know the basics, so that's good. And it got me through a certain stage of things. Okay, so you know what I'm feeling? This is a different way of going about it. I do a process called Future Self. And, there's different scenarios out there. So there's going to be one future self to go visit today. And there might be others that you can do on your own, but I'm curious what your future self has to say about this. And what her world is, right? Like, so did she do it? And if she did, what did she do? And then what is her guidance to you? Because she knows your psychology because she has been you, right? So, and she knows your world and your steps. She knows your community, right? She knows all that stuff. So I kind of like, when I just have one session, you'll see a lot of, on the YouTube channel, there's quite a lot of future selves, because that's like, I can go there and like, let's find out. Let's get a direct shortcut to your psyche.
Okay.
So that's what I think. Well, we could certainly do constellation on it, but I think you
No,
have
that sounds
lots
really
of
good.
access to that.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm just gonna get my tablet and everything ready, and then bring up a different map. I prepped the other maps, but but I'm gonna go for the future self map here.
Right. Yeah, I think I could do
and
with
then
that.
start thinking about time frame. So we're going to go visit a particular future self who's out there in a certain time. So short term, medium term, long term. So short term is like a year or so. Medium is like anything 2 to 5, 6, 7 years. And then I'd say long term is 7, 10, 15, 20, 25, beyond. Some people go to like soul, right? So after we've passed, that really gives a different perspective. Movements of the soul from Hellinger. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting perspective. So as I rattle those off, just see.
One
to you.
1 year sounds good as a short-term future me. Then 5 years would be the place where I would want to be able to sustain myself or this our little family unit.
Yep.
And long term, I suspect I might have, if I'm lucky, maybe have 20 years of work ahead of me. So maybe then, don't know.
So I would say let's not go for the short term, because she's going to be too close to your own psychology and your own world. Sometimes they do it in a year, but it's a little too close, and we'd like distinction. So I would say, well, what do you think? 5 years, or even that 20-year one at the end of your career is going to give you perspective. If you're saying you want to run for 20 years with it.
Yeah, I would definitely want to run for 20 years, if I can.
Let's do that. That's interesting to go there, because think about all the consciousness build and everything, and life build and experience that happens, right, in 20 years. Okay. Yay, let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just getting my map ready here. I'm going to screen share so you can see this.
Oops.
Move this so I can see you. Okay, so this is the future self template, and this allows me to write down a bunch of notes for this visit you're about to have. And you will probably have your eyes closed when I'm doing this. So when you open up, the notes will be there, and I'll rattle through them, and it becomes a little shorthand memory device for the journey that you're about to take. Just know that I always say the map is not the territory, which means it will be a pale comparison, my notes, to what's actually going on inside of you. So just like constellation, right, where there's those moments that stay with you, right? That richness that's inside of you, when you do that, that's key. And that's inside of you. We don't have to worry about it. It's in there. It's doing its magic. These notes that I'll follow up with, are just a memory device. And sometimes the future self likes me to. I have like these 3 bubbles. Like there's sometimes 3 main things that the future self like really wants to drill through to you. Like, remember this, right? It shows across from the years. So these bubbles, I can put that in here. Future self, she's going to be in a certain space and place, and she's going to have characteristics. So I'll find out when you encounter her. You're relaying this to me, so you'll relay, what she's like, and I'll ask you different questions. then you'll settle in and you'll have some sort of conversation with her. Given the preamble we just had, we know that it's likely going to be about this particular challenge in your life, right? These years and what you've been developing, what's going on with the community aspect of the work and your private practice, right? And then what to do about it and the whole money thing and the household contribution stuff. So there may be other things you want to ask her too, right? So it doesn't have to just stick with what we covered. Oftentimes the future self may have a gift to give. So I'll ask about that and help you to find the gift from her. And other things happen too. So we'll just see what occurs with you. So that's kind of the territory. So let's get the date down here before we go visit her. And so she knows, it's like shouting through the timeline, like, we're coming, get ready. So 20 years from now, so 2020 is right now, so that would be 2040, that's easy math. Is there a particular month that resonates for you? It could be, we're in July, so it might be literally 20 years from now, or maybe it's some other month.
July came up instantly. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, good. Okay, so July, we'll put 3 since we're there, 2020. So July 3, 2040, we're literally going 20 years ahead. Okay, we got it. One little thing, I have to have something else prepped and ready here. But while I'm doing that, we need some sort of time machine. We need something that allows you to move forward in time. It could be something organic, like bubbles and light beams and stuff like that, rainbows, or it could be, or like animals, or it literally could be some sort of machinery, Star Trekky stuff, Doctor Who.
Okay, I've got the picture. Yeah, I've got a kite.
Oh, perfect. That's cool. I don't think I've ever had a kite before. I love this part of it, what people come up with. Yeah. Okay, one sec here. Okay, so I'm going to invite you to get comfy, however comfy is for you. And usually it means uncrossing legs, settling into the chair. Eyes closed is great, or you can focus on a spot somewhere on the floor or ceiling or whatever. Yeah, a couple of deep breaths. Shaking off all the, left brain cognitive stuff we've been doing your whole day and your week since it's Friday evening for you. Okay, well done. So now this beautiful kite. Here you are sitting here in front of the computer in July 3rd, 2020. And somehow this subtle energy kite just kind of wafts into your room, and maybe you're aware of the little tail it has and the little string, and you're able to kind of gently wrap your arms through it, and it's strong enough to hold you. And it's a special kite because it knows what its purpose is, that it's to be a time traveling assistant and to bring you forward. It's going to bring you to the exact time and place of your future self out there in July 3rd, 2040, 20 years from now. She's alerted, she's delighted, she's excited, she knows you're coming, she's waiting for you on the other side of that. And so the kite does its thing. It starts to pull you up and above where you're anchored right now. You just leave that body sitting there in the computer, that's okay. Your subtle energy body here, it's going to move forward in time. And I'm going to just count you through the years, and we'll just take our time. We've got a nice leisurely journey of 20 years here. The nice thing, I can just feel it myself, is we're starting to hover up above the fray of 2020. It's nice to get up into that atmosphere, kind of away from the swirl of humanity and its hubbub right now. And we start to move forward in time. I'm there kind of alongside you guys and coming along for the ride. Makes it easier for communicating. And we're moving from 2020, and this kite is just taking you safely and gently forward. So it's starting to move and pick up pace and go beyond the summertime. It's moving into the fall. And all that US election stuff that's happening in the world, we're moving past that, and we're moving, it's happened, things have occurred, we're moving into 2021. And it starts to pick up pace. And so it flashes through those seasons of 21 and it crosses the line into 22 and it blitzes by safe but fast through 23. And then it starts to really pick up speed. It's going 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Man, the earth has been through all sorts of stuff. 39, and you know you're coming in and the kite knows exactly where to take you down to 2040. And it breaks through the atmosphere and makes a homing line towards your future self. As you're coming through the atmosphere, if you get, and you might see things, you might just know them. However your senses happen, it's all right. If you feel you're making it up, you are. So trust that process. And as you kind of come through the atmosphere, maybe things start to come into focus, maybe continents. Maybe you drill down even more into country and drill down even more into state, province, however, region. And you come down even more into a particular city area or rural area. Maybe you don't know where it is, maybe you do know where it is. And then lo and behold, the kite is depositing you where your future self resides in 2040 or wherever she wanted you to come to have a conversation. It doesn't have to literally be her home. And as the kite deposits you, and maybe you tie it to something because you're going to come back to it, thanking that kite for doing its job. And noticing your feet if you haven't already, because the feet may help you notice the land of where did you get deposited to. And if you're able to bring your satellite eyes up or other senses, if you're not already, the future self steps into the frame. She's found you. And take a moment, because this is a treat, take a moment to be received by your future self, to be welcomed by her. She's delighted that her time-traveling self from way back there in that pivotal year of 2020 has come. Just let me know what's happening or not happening.
Yeah, I'm not very good at imagining things, but I did sort of get a feeling of warm hug and warm welcome.
Great. Yeah, you're more somatic, so don't worry about that. Just go with the feeling. So you got it. Excellent. I'm somatic too. Mm-hmm. Okay, excellent. So receiving that warm hug, what's your sense? And go with whatever flashes you get, however you get it. Everybody actually can do this, but there's usually a lot of, stuff around guided meditations and am I good at it and all that. So we'll just let all that crap go because you're a human being. Of course you can do it. You just did. So what's your sense of her? Do you have any sense of where you've landed?
No, I don't know where I've landed. But as I said, I can't see pictures, but I have a sense of warm welcome and I see her just looking an older version of me, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay, great. Now, since you can feel and sense, people give off energy, right? And from constellating, right? So what does she beam off? It's a first impression in a way. So what vibe does she give you? What does she feel like?
Big heart, kindness, welcoming energy, and wise and
there you go.
Crone-like.
Beautiful. There she is. Now do the same thing for the environment.
Yeah, it's nature. It's somewhere natural.
And what's that mean, natural? Fields or trees or water?
Trees and water. Trees and water. There's a river.
Great. Okay, now she is going to lead you somewhere because you're going to sit down and have a chit chat with her or stand up, however you guys want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
See where she takes you.
We're just going for a walk along the river.
Nice. So enjoy that, walking along with your future self, being there in that beautiful natural environment. And as you're walking along with her, you just continue to kind of check her out.
We're laughing a lot.
Nice. So laugh with her, enjoy that. And just like you would walking with anybody for a while, you enter into a conversation. So see who wants to lead the conversation. Do you start it or does she?
I think I do.
Yeah. So what's your opener?
But I feel a little stuck, and even though I create flow now and then, and it's beautiful and it does work, I always get stuck again, and it's always to do with money.
Mm-hmm.
and how to name my business. That's
Okay, good. So you want to ask her, what's your direct question to her about your stuckness and about money?
Will I get to a place of financial independence and a feeling of abundance financially?
Ask her checkout before, because we want to see, just like you would for any coach or mentor, you kind of want them to be what it is you want, right? So they can advise you from an intelligent place. So ask her about her money. Where is she at? What's happening?
How's your financial situation? Yeah.
And see what she beams back, however she beams it back to you. What's the gist that you get from her?
She just says, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm not worried about anything. Things are just flowing. I gave up control, she says.
Ah, that's interesting. Yeah. Good. So we're off and running with this conversation. So what do you want to ask her? She's beaming, oh, hey, flow, rather than control.
Yeah. Flow was very important because the years haven't been easy. And keeping the faith up that everything is set right for her was always her guiding principle. If she just kept being on the side of trust and faith that everything is all right and will be all right, and not, she hasn't tapped much into the fear. And if she did, she always had good advice and good people around her to help her through these times.
Okay, so she's really given you, which makes sense. We understand this deeply as constellators, right? How everything is that energetic underneath it. And she's really guiding you from the energetics of things. And so she's like, okay, steer away from the fear stuff. Steer away from the control and that energetic and everything in the body, because like attracts like from there. And she's steering you towards flow and trust and faith and the way that feels and how you access that.
And she also says the heart-centered entrepreneurship course that I did was a good move and a good way of tapping into this as a life leading principle.
Excellent.
I was always on the right path.
Okay, so thank her for that, because that's a nice practicality, right? And you've already got the shorthand from having taken that particular program. Heart-based entrepreneur?
Heart-based entrepreneurship.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was a 6-week course with Alyssa Fleet. You probably know her, and she's amazing.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, good. So she's like, bing, bing, bing. Keep going with that, please. Yeah. And well done, right? She's complimenting. She's also, her her limbic sentence to you is reassuring. It's like you're not at the beginning of this, like you're on track. You've already signed up for that. You had good instincts. So it's like lean into that. Good. Good. So thank you for that, Bao. Thank you very much. Excellent advice. Anything else she wants to share with you? What else do you want to ask from here?
I'm just so unsure about my pricing, and just don't know how to price myself, and how to put value to what I'm giving, and whether in the world of constellators, I know there's real gurus and there's people like me and there's people who are just starting out, and yes, I have an idea, but I just don't really know where I am on the scale of...
Very good. I'm just loving how your 2020 self is just being so real with her, and she can remember, oh gosh, I remember what that felt like. Right? So beautiful. You've laid it on the coffee table for her, or the walking trail, whatever. You said, what the heck do I do about this pricing? And how do I find my place in the hierarchy, right? In the structure, in how it now exists, or supposedly exists, right? With the constellation field. So see what she replies to. What is her perspective and wisdom on this pricing business and this finding your place in the field? Don't go ahead. Go the way you got it before, beaming at you, right? So, yeah. If you have to, go rep her, and we may do that.
She says something along the lines of, why do you need to look outside? You know.
Goosebumps. Okay. So if you're not looking outside, what are you doing?
So I'm kind of looking now, what kind of, what do get people out of working with me, and what they get is authenticity. They get kindness. They get all of my experience and my wisdom, my ability to tap into the field. I'm worth millions, really. So I just need to really just go with what the going rate is for a constellation.
Great. That's nice and practical. Go with going right. Excellent. So you're already doing it. I'm just going to help. So we're going to split it into two places on the floor, right? So there's two sets of footprints. There's your 2020 self, and then there's your future self. I want you to ask her permission first. Is it okay for you to inhabit her?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we're going to go back and forth, and you can do this because you know how to do constellations, so you can very quickly bop into the different footsteps. So in your 2020 footsteps, what's the next question to the future self? She said about just go with the going right. So you got your answer. You might have some yeah buts or some particulars. Anything else you want to ask her about pricing? And if not, where's your mind go next?
There's my community organization. There's also me. And there's something called the heart space. And the heart space is a new thing that has been evolving from this course that I've been doing. And And that's been coming all the way through my life. The heart was always, when I started my journey in Germany, I called my website The Path of the Heart, and it was German, obviously. But when I came here, I had to let all that go. It was all in German, and so here I just put my name out there, and that wasn't wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong, but the heart is always something that comes up for me that is so important, and that's how I live my life. I'm just kind of always in my heart, and if I'm not, I'm back in my childhood, so I just need a mummy or somebody to guide me a little bit.
So sense into what your question is. There's these kind of three entities in a way, business entities, right? There's your professional practice, there's the community thing, and then there's this emergent one. So what's your question to her about these three?
But which one shall I focus on right now?
Okay, beautiful. Excellent question. When you're ready, jump on over into her footsteps and inhabit her. And take a moment as you get in there to just check that out. Take on her.
So you know really what is important to you already. You've created a name for yourself. That name has a good vibration for people, for most people. There are a few exceptions which you don't need to pay attention to. That's going to sort itself out. But the vibration around you is the heart, and you know that. And Oxys has heart in it, but it's more like, yeah, you want that peer thing, you want the peer experience, you want to keep growing. That's a good thing to keep. And keep offering your constellation work through that website. And keep promoting that as well. Oxys has already also got a name, and the name is connected to you. The heart space is something new and something different, and it will take you to a place of public acknowledgement. You will be talking, you will be showing people how to be authentic and how to be vulnerable. And that's what this is. And yes, it needs a lot of attention and feeding, but it means within that space you will be authentic and real. You will be that everywhere, but in that space you invite people to do the same thing. So this is a different thing. So you have two babies.
Anything else, future self? I've got three big bubble areas for Silvia, and she'll have this to be able to look at. What do you want me to write in these? What do you want to really get across to her? What are your advice, your sentences, your...
It was a good thing to let go of a few pages and groups that you have been very unsuccessfully keeping and not nurturing. But you do feel your energy in the heart space, and it's already been received with great sort of joy by the people who entered immediately. So you chose wisely to invite those people that you did, because you know that there's a resonance there. So grow that community. And from that community, people will understand how you got to the place where you are, and they will sign up for your workshops because they want to work with you, because they want to learn these techniques. And for that, Oxys is good for the moment.
Okay, excellent.
And you can let go of the private page. You don't need that anymore.
Okay.
Don't need that anymore.
Good practical advice. Thank you. Getting that down. Let go of the private page. Future self, anything else from your perspective? You know the dilemmas. What's going on in 2020? Anything else you want to guide her on? Maybe it's stuff that you did over the years from there or beyond, or...
You need to tell your story, Silvia. You do. You need to tell your story. People want to know about your story. And this is how you will create connection with those people who are looking for guidance, people who have been going through not same, but equally difficult times. And you know what this is all about.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you, future self. Anything else you want to say to her and communicate to her? Action-wise, steps, doings, beings?
You don't have to think about money. You can let that go completely. Let it go.
What does she, if she's not thinking about money, what is she doing?
You can keep doing what you've been doing, and you can put a price against it or not. It doesn't matter. Your one work is where you earn the money, and you have already established a practice, and you have good guidance from your community of therapists there.
Excellent. Excellent. Anything you want to offer else around business, or about 2020 is kind of an interesting time in the world. So, and the next couple of years, right? Interesting for running businesses, but also kind of a positive, I would think, for the kinds of businesses that Silvia is running. So what's your perspective? You've got 20 years on us.
Go into nature, bring people into nature, show them what you experience. Show them what it is like to be in nature and find wisdom in nature, connecting with nature, and do your constellations there. Bring people there, have groups there, speak there, have little gatherings for the heart to reconnect. And keep the online business going as well. Online is good because you can be international, and that's what you are. You are an international person. You're not reduced to Oxford.
Thank you, future self. Anything on the personal front? There's a desire to contribute to the household financially, and obviously in other ways too. So anything from the household perspective, future self?
It's already happening. I don't know what you're worried about. It's already happening. Yes, on a small scale, but that was always clear. And in the next 5 years, you'll grow so much. People will be queuing to work with you.
Future self, do you have a gift for her? It's nice that the 2020 self might be able to bring something. She's bringing back this connection with you. The two of you will have telepathy from here on in, and she can come to you as, you know, the best mentor for her. But is there anything, as she travels backwards in time after this journey, is there a gift that you want to give her? Something tangible or intangible?
Well, my gift to you, Silvia, is walk the Wu Way and read about it as well. The line between yin and yang, and you know that already, but you're not really following those rules. You need to do more meditation and more stillness and less distraction. Just be more, do less.
What did you say? Walk the what way?
The Wu Way. It's W-U and then dash
Way.
W-E-I. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. Thank you. Goosebumps on that. So that's powerful. Woo. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, future self. Again, the two of you will be able to communicate. You don't need me as the go-between. But since I'm here taking notes, is there anything else that you want me to write on this, to be staring back at her as a reminder? I'm happy to follow your lead.
Just look at me and you know that you don't need to worry about anything.
So if she's not worrying, what is she doing?
Who?
The 2020 self.
Yeah, she's a bit worried about the future. She always holds that worry about the future. And so far it's worked out really well in many ways. And the financial success will come. organically. And that's how she always wanted it as well. She's not into great marketing online
Yep.
stuff.
Yep. Gimmicks. Yeah. Okay. Some financial success comes naturally, and just a reminder to look at me. Put your focus here, right? Not on the outside, not on what one thinks one must do, right? So, and just a reminder
Yeah.
that she can always look to you, look at you, calibrate that way. Yeah,
Yes. And be
that's a
guided by
North
your
Star.
children.
Nice. Say more.
Yeah, well, our children are such wonderful, amazing people. They show you what's needed at the time. You'll pick up on all of that.
Okay, wonderful. So a lot of wisdom through mother-child interactions and unfolding. Nice. Female path. Well, beautiful. Thank you, future self. Now there's an opportunity for Silvia. You'll pull back and jump back over into those other footsteps. As you do, you're taking that energy. You can never fully, this is one of the times you're allowed to bring that energy with you, right? It's there in your cells, having come from a visited future self. So you take her with you because you guys are each other. It's allowable. And from here, anything you just want to say to her, a little acknowledgement. She gave you so much wisdom and the beautiful gift of remembering the woo-wee, the being.
It's just wonderful to be around you, and yeah, you've done what you always wanted to do, and it's great, and you've succeeded. You're a happy woman, and have a happy life, and you're content, and you're a leader. It's amazing.
Nice. See if she says anything back or communicates however she wants to communicate.
Yeah, she's just giving me another hug.
Nice, nice. Receive it. Yeah. Now have her walk you on back to where that kite is that brought you here. And do your final goodbyes. And however you guys sort it out, I don't think it's going to be hard. I think it'll be easy for you to do this telepathy thing with each other, given what you do for a living. But I just want to make it clear, right? Like, just because this is ending doesn't mean your communication ends. Now that you've been introduced to each other, ladies, continue to communicate. You don't need me. Yeah. Okay. And as you're saying your final goodbyes, reconnecting yourself to the kite, and that kite doing the reverse thing, it's pulling you up above 2040 and kind of waving goodbye. And then it's doing a reverse journey. And I'm just going to count you back from 40 as it's whipping over the years and months and scenes. All that energy change and a rewind happening to 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, into 30, and 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, and then coming in for landing, reversing order the seasons of 20, so the winter time and the fall, and now back into the summer, and back specifically to July 3rd. And the kite sees your physical body down there, and it deposits your subtle energy self right above so that she can just let go of the kite and drop right into her physical body. And goes down Sushumna, down the spinal cord, down those energy centers, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, fully home in the body. When you're ready, moving the arms and limbs and re-inhabiting this body, taking that energy from the future self in your cells, right? And just feel that connection, however it happens, right? It might be here, it might be there, but feel her. Give her a little, you know how we text people when we come home? So just send her a little subtle energy text like, I'm back, thank you, so good to see you. And receive the text back. That's your communication, right? You can communicate
Okay.
with her at any time. Or maybe
Thank
it's,
you.
you know, you hear the voice, you hear that, you just know, whatever, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's a mad mess of down here, but again, it's inside of you. But the big things over here on the left, the characteristics, some of that, of course. In the red are the big points. So she's like, feel your energy in the heart space, grow that community. Underneath, there's specific advice. These big red and orange ones are kind of high level concepts. Take people into nature and keep your online going as you're an international person. Tell your story. Underneath the discussion points, let go with the money stuff, and I have to figure out how to draw the pounds instead of the dollar sign. So I'll look that up. I'll put pounds or whatever is appropriate for currency in there symbol-wise. But she's saying, you know, the money stuff for you is about faith and trust. Let go of fear, let go of control. You know all this, but heart-based entrepreneurship, that you're doing good. Authenticity, kindness, real. Now, this underneath box, this is where you got some really good specific stuff. So go with the going right. So ting, now you know what to do. Go with the going right. Know what's important is the vibration of the heart. As you know, like that's so important with your name. You're already doing that. She's validating that. I've spelt Ossex wrong, so you tell me how to get it spelt right here.
No, it's right.
Oh, I did it right. Oh,
you
goody.
did it right.
Oh, goody. Oh, good. So keep that sight. So she's like, that's good. Keep going with that. And what you're doing with the heart space, keep going with that, because that's what's really going to build. And that's where the public acknowledgement. And it's all about authenticity, vulnerability, real, inviting others, right? Inviting others, and then the nature is important. That really, that's why it's up in red there too. Invite others and nature, right? So the nature and the heart is very appealing.
Yeah.
Let go of the private page. That was a nice practical one too.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing overall. Like you're on the right track. So she's validating that. One-to-one is where you make your money. And bring your people to nature. Good. And people are going to queue up for you. Now the gift, remember, is the, again, I might say it wrong, but the woo-wee. Wu-wei,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Back to energetics, right? The big thing here, big reminder, right? Is that this is about energetics, and so you need to be in the quiet, be in the stillness, do your stuff there to calibrate.
Yeah.
And that's going to make this shift happen.
Yeah, good.
Look at that sweet smile on your face. Nice. Yeah. So unconventional way to approach business planning, but a very...
I love unconventional.
Yes, I always find very practical energy work way of cutting through it, right? Like and getting very practical, direct answers, which is great. If we look at what you came in with, she tick, she gave you your answers. So, so now it'll be, let that unfold, go actualize that. You have some practical things to do, turning off some pages, being okay with some pages, building up another one, and trust and faith and work and doing your woo way. Yeah. Oh,
great.
This is going to be cool to see unfold.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say as a closing quote?
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
You are super welcome. You are super welcome. Let me stop the share there so I can see you bigger. There you are. Good. Very welcome. Excellent. I hope it's of service, and I look forward to seeing how it now unfolds with that clarity and reaffirmation. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Okay, sweetheart.